I tweeted something like that about Judas, and the amount of hate that I received for saying Judas could be in heaven was mind-blowing to me, because they're like, well, he committed suicide. And it was like, well, why is it because he committed suicide, he automatically went to hell? And now somebody's like, uh-oh, Chris, you got to be careful. But if he doesn't treat me as my sins deserve, but he judges my heart, I want to help the person real quick that is believing that their best friend or the person in their life that did take their life is now automatically in hell, and you're beating yourself up. And here's what I would say. You don't know. In fact, if it was mental illness that led them there, God has enough capacity to see them in their brokenness and love on them. And since we are talking about Judas, let's have this conversation. When Judas realized what he did, first off, Judas was a fulfillment to prophecy. But when he realized what he did, he went to those leading priests to give back the money, and then they laughed at him. However, he went to the wrong priest, because had he gone to the great high priest, Jesus would have received him. He would have welcomed him with open arms. So this idea that just because this man betrayed Jesus, he's out. When do you not betray Jesus? You wake up every day and betray Jesus, which is why he offers new mercies every day. You wouldn't need new mercies unless you needed new mercies. He offers you new mercies because you're going to behave in a way that's inappropriate and it's wrong, and your sin's going to get the best of you. And even though you didn't tell me or tell your accountability partner, does not mean you got away with it. It's the same way I could tell you I'm eating clean, but if I'm sneaking calories at night when no one's looking, you're going to see it eventually. And just because you see it or not does not mean that my diet is clean, which is what we're talking about. Let's talk about this idea. I don't want the life that you pretend to have. I want to be in close proximity with you and be able to be a friend with you regardless, through hell or high water. Let's be friends. Let's conversate. Let's talk. And let me be big enough and mature enough, and here we go, wise enough to sit with you through it. And when I'm not able to respond because I don't have the words, let me be wise enough to just sit in silence with you. Husbands, you need to learn how to sit in silence with your wife when she does not know how to explain what it is that she's feeling, and you're frustrated because you're patting yourself on the back because you brought home the bacon and you provided a paycheck, but that's not what she's upset at all. What she was hoping for is that you would just sit with her, not try to give her the solution. And I know you're a problem solver, but you're creating more problems because you're not willing to sit in the tension of your wife's problem. You have to be able to admit what you can't do and what you can do. And let me be very clear. I'm married 18 years and I've hardly got that part right. My wife could tell you I've had moments. In fact, we've had moments because she's such a good wife. She's called Tim to say, you need to talk to your boy. And we've had those conversations, and Tim has been big enough to sit with me and show me what it looks like to sit in, well, I don't really understand why X, Y, and Z, or why she's responding like that, or whatever the confusion is. And now as a result of that, he's taught me how to sit with others. But this is what it's about, because we could get you shouting about Judas until you realize you could be Judas, or you could turn your back on Judas. Yeah. What about when Judas came to you and told you about what he did? You're like, don't give me that money. That's on your hands now. Mm-hmm. And that's what churches have been doing for quite some time. In fact, that's why we're here right now, because that was a religious organization, by the way, that Judas went to repent, and they turned their back on. And that is why so many people are saying that New York is broken and New York needs to come back and the people of New York don't love Jesus. I don't think that's true at all. I think there's a lot of people in New York that love Jesus. What they don't like is the expression of Jesus that they're seeing in some of these churches, and how their backs are being turned on them, or just the inappropriate behavior. They love Jesus a whole lot, but if we're going to talk about Jesus, Jesus is big enough to sit with me in the tension of whatever it is that we're talking about.
That's right. It's so well said.